Hi, hello. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Welcome back to another live stream here with Delusion Media by me, 𝙂𝙀𝘼𝙍. We are celebrating the launch of my brand new course, Catalyst Academy. Learn to grow a thriving YouTube channel in 5 hours per week. That's right. We talk about how to make good videos and how to make them efficiently. So we talk everything you need to know to survive and thrive on YouTube, plus how to set up systems that actually work for you efficiently. Yes, I'm doing a giveaway. Link is in the bio or in the description of this video. You can enter to win. You automatically get to download my free Get Started checklist so that you can start just checking off the boxes. You can get started on YouTube already. But then you're automatically entered to win free access to my new course, Catalyst Academy for Life. The course itself launches June 1st. There is a club component, the Catalyst Club. That is a membership component. You get instant access to the Catalyst Club and access to the course on June 1st when it launches. And the club is half the value. You get to collaborate with other content creators in there. I'm in there answering all your questions. We do live Q&A sessions, and we're also going to have conversations with other YouTubers in there. So I am super excited for that to happen. So you can sign up at the link below to get registered to win. That closes tomorrow night. The giveaway entry period closes tomorrow night at midnight. That's Thursday night at midnight. Winners will be announced on Friday. The pre-launch sale ends Friday night. This is the cheapest this course is ever going to be, and I guarantee you that. So you're going to want to take advantage of this price. If it's something that you think that you might want at any point, you can buy it. You can take it at your own pace, participate in the club as you see fit, and go at your own pace. So I'm really excited about this course. It's got a lot of value in it. But today, specifically, I want to talk about technology. Technology. I see a couple of you are feeling a little attacked by the title. Bring your parents on. We'll talk about tech. All right. That's okay. You do not get more entries the more times you download. It's just the one entry. Just the one entry. Keeping it an even playing field. So technology. I'm going to talk about my editing softwares of choice that I would recommend for you so that you can actually get started, because I know even just picking an editing software can be big. But first, I wanted to talk about some limiting self-beliefs. All right, we're going to get into a little life coaching with 𝙂𝙀 here on YouTube. Because this is something that I hear from so many people all the time when I talk to them about starting a YouTube channel. They've decided I'm not good with technology, or I'm bad with computers. This is especially true for people who would love to start a YouTube channel, but think that they could never do it because they could just never learn all that gear and tech on their own. Okay. Thanks to my new course, you wouldn't have to do it on your own, but we can talk more about that later. But here's the cold, hard truth. You're not actually bad at computers. You're not bad at technology. You're not. You're lying to yourself. You're not. At least you're not any worse than the rest of us. You've just decided in your head, based on a negative experience or two, something in your past that has happened, that you're hopeless and that you'll never understand how to use technology. And that limiting self-belief is the real reason why you're bad at tech. Not because of any mental shortcoming or technological shortcoming on your part. Okay? Here's the reality. Everyone is bad at technology or computer programs or editing the first time they try it. Everyone is bad. Okay. They have to mess around. They have to make some mistakes or a ton of mistakes before learning how to use all of the gear and tech that come with starting a YouTube channel. The only difference between them and you is that they keep showing up and trying again, and you decide you're bad at technology and quit after 1 or 2 tries. It might be a hard pill to swallow, but I dare you to prove me wrong, okay? So instead of writing yourself off or benching yourself before you even get the chance to play the game, why not unpack those limiting beliefs that you have in yourself and in your abilities? What has happened in the past? Like, can you pinpoint the times in the past that have made you think this way about yourself? Is it true that you've really tried, that you've shown up, you've given it time, you've given it a chance, you've shown up again and again and really tried to learn some technology and you're just deficient and can't do it? Is that really what has happened? Or is the real truth that you tried something a couple times and when you weren't immediately good at it, decided that it just wasn't for you or that you were bad at it? Hi, former gifted and talented student here. Ready for service. Yeah, I've been there. I get it. Okay. I challenge you to have a little bit more faith in yourself. Okay. You can figure out camera gear. You can. You can. You can figure out the basics of video editing. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Okay. One thing that I always tell myself, I've been doing this since college, whenever I'm tackling something new and I'm nervous that I'll be hopelessly bad at it and look like a fool. I came up with this the first time that I had to navigate JFK, the airport, by myself. I always tell myself anytime I'm tackling something that I think I'm going to be bad at or that I'm nervous about, I say, dumber people than me have done this before. Because that's the truth. Dumber people than me have done this before. And I can guarantee you that dumber people than you have figured this stuff out. They have. Look around on YouTube. There's a lot of dummies on here. So maybe you're not hopeless at technology, and instead, maybe you just need a guide. Hi, that's me. I can help. And a little bit more belief in yourself. Okay, but that's on you. You got to do that yourself. I can only hold your hand so long. Because at some point you have to have enough belief in yourself that you will show up and just try and give it time to really sink in. Okay? So I challenge you to dismantle those beliefs that you have in yourself, and don't let fear of being bad at something or at editing hold you back. Because here's another truth. Your videos at the beginning are gonna suck. There's nothing you can do about that. For example, before I even started my YouTube channel, before I even went to law school, I was a photographer. I had a photography business. I had a Nikon, a really nice Nikon, a really nice lens. So I had a camera and lens setup that was worth multiple thousands of dollars, probably about $4,000 in camera gear. Nikon's not made for film. They're made for still photography. And I knew how to do still photography. I did not know how to film, but I had this fancy camera and I was like, I'm going to work with what I got. And so I set up my camera and I filmed with it. The quality isn't awful, but it's not great either. I didn't know what I was doing with lighting. I didn't know what I was doing with sound. I didn't even really know what I was doing with the camera. So some of the settings were kind of fucked up and I messed things up regularly. I also was still getting used to appearing on camera. I also was learning the basics of video editing. No matter how much money you spend ahead of time to buy good gear, how much time you spend ahead of time trying to learn how to edit videos and hold yourself back from starting because you think, oh, I just need a little bit more time to learn this and then it'll be good. It's not going to be good. It's going to be bad. And I'm not saying this to like dishearten you. I'm saying this to liberate you. Everyone's first videos on YouTube, unless you are like a video producer, you've been working in cinematography for a decade, in which case this video does not apply to you. I don't know how you found yourself here. Everyone's first videos on YouTube suck. In fact, your first 50 videos on YouTube are going to suck. Maybe the first 100 videos are going to suck. It took me 100 videos to get to a point where I felt like I really knew what I was doing. Like I had a flow, everything felt right. I kind of knew what would do well, what topics I wanted to talk about. I had the like really good editing under my belt. 100 videos. So be okay with sucking. Do your best, because no matter how hard you try to make it perfect, 6 months from now, if you continue with it and keep making videos, you're going to get so much better that you're going to look back on what you do now and you're going to be like, wow, that looks like shit. And there's nothing you can do, because the best way to learn how to do good YouTube videos is through experience, is through doing it. So you have to just get started, and you can't let your limiting beliefs hold you back from your YouTube dreams. Because if you really want to do this, if you really have this dream, you got to just bite the bullet and do it. You got to take the risk. You got to do the vulnerable thing and put yourself out there, even though you know you're not perfect. And believe me, that's coming from me, a recovering perfectionist. I don't like putting myself out there if I don't think it's perfect. And I did it anyway when I started on YouTube. I did my best, and you definitely should try your best to do your best, but it's still going to suck, and that's okay. I like to live by the 70% rule. I talk about this a lot, so maybe you've heard of it. It's really helpful for my perfectionist brain. The 70% rule is just get it to 70% good. See what you can do. Just do your 70% best, whatever 70% is for you, and then release it into the world. Because the time it takes you to get from 0 to 70% is about half the time that it takes to then get from 70% to 80 or 90%. And don't even talk about 100% because that's impossible. Perfection is impossible. Get it to 70%, get it out the door. And you're going to be better off because once you get it out the door, you can start again and do it again, go from 0 to 70%. And the more times you iterate that, the higher your 70% is going to be quality-wise. So you're going to get so much farther. You're going to learn so much more if you just do things to 70% and get them out in the world so that you can learn and so that you can iterate over and over again. And that 70% will continue to increase over time. So this perfectionist belief, this techie self-belief is something that really holds people back in a way that is like, it's sad because like it's standing in the way of your ability to live your YouTube dreams. And this is my favorite job that I've ever had, which is why I'm so passionate about helping you get over these kind of mental blockages that you have around starting a YouTube channel, because you can do it. You can do it. A lot of people are really bad at editing, and then they learn how to be better, and then they continue to get better and better, and they grow. And then what you think is 70% is someone else's 110%. Like they couldn't even imagine how you even did that. And that's a really cool place to be. Like, how fun that you get to have this project that you're working on where you're constantly getting better, where every 6 months you can look back and say, wow, that was bad. I've gotten a lot better. That's pretty exciting. Okay. So let yourself suck and just do it anyway, man. Life is way the hell too short. I think the thing that really pushed me over the edge of like really wanting to do a YouTube channel is I had a friend who died. Sorry, this is going to get dark. This was back in 2019. I didn't start my channel until 2020, but I feel like his death kind of planted a little seed. He was a musician, and he was just someone who like brought people together. Like he was 29, he had cancer. He did like 6 rounds of chemo and it just didn't work. And he just had like a presence, and I felt so happy. Like I was so sad, but I was so happy that like he was this musician who put art out into the world. He put albums out, and now like I can listen to those albums still and remember like, fuck, he was so talented. This is great music. There are pictures of him everywhere. He knew people because he put himself out there, and he got to meet so many people from taking the risk, being vulnerable, writing music, performing it, being out there. And that's really cool. And so I think the thing that helped me kind of grieve that death and move past it is like, okay, I can tell myself like his death wasn't in vain because I can learn from this and I can live my life fully, putting myself out there fully, putting my content, my words, my art out into the world. Because what a beautiful thing to do. Like so much about life is stupid and pointless. Your credit card debt, it's fake. Okay. It has real consequences, but like money's fake. Okay. Your job, probably fake problems, you know? Not always, but sometimes. But like when it comes down to it, the relationships, the art, the connection that you make is what really matters. And so I think that's the thing that like planted the seed in the back of my head about like starting to make more content and put myself out there in a more vulnerable way and show up as myself and say the things that I know are in my heart that I really wanted to say, that I was like bursting to say. And that is how like my law channel came to be, because I had so much to say about it. And I was like, I got to do this. I got to put myself out there. I got to put this into the world. And how sad to let a little fear of editing and imperfection get in the way of what I think is a very valiant goal and dream. So I want you to not let it hold you back. And I'll go through your comments and questions at the end, but I did want to go through just a few tangible things, some takeaways, so that this isn't just a pep talk, but also something that you can like grasp onto and find helpful. I wanted to talk about my 4 recommended editing softwares of choice. So so that you kind of know what's out there, because I know it can just be really overwhelming. And there's a lot more out there than these 4, but these are kind of the 4 that I recommend that you start with. And I'm going to go from like bottom of the barrel to best of the best. So first, iMovie. iMovie, we've heard of iMovie. It's only available if you have like a Mac. So that's one thing. It's free, which is great. And it's basic. It gives you the basic bells and whistles that you need. You can put your footage in there. You can add some music. You can do some basic transitions. You could even throw some text on screen. That's it. And that's all you need. I mean, you're not doing like 3D cartoon animation graphics on day one. All right. So don't get a software that's going to give you all the bells and whistles you don't need. That's just going to overwhelm you. So if you have iMovie, that's good enough. That's good enough. The pluses is that it's free. Okay. The minuses, it doesn't have all of the bells and whistles. So at some point, you're probably going to want to upgrade. But if you're feeling overwhelmed and you have a Mac that already has iMovie on it, you are golden. You don't need to upgrade for a while. Okay. Second option, if you have a PC or you don't like iMovie for whatever reason, you can download DaVinci Resolve. That's also a free option that frankly has more bells and whistles than iMovie does, but it's a great free option. Like, it's a high quality free option that I highly recommend. DaVinci Resolve. Okay. Third, Final Cut Pro. This is, I think, probably the most popular editing software for YouTubers. I think just because it only works with Macs, and a lot of YouTubers are Apple enthusiasts, I think. Final Cut Pro has tons of bells and whistles. It has all the stuff you could need to make like a feature-length film if you really wanted to. For that reason, it can be a little overwhelming. However, it's pretty slick. There's a lot of really great add-ons you can get, like graphics and stuff. I highly recommend FX Factory, the letters FX Factory. They have great Final Cut Pro graphics. Like if you want a little subscribe button to like pop up, boop, you can get that, or, you know, whatever else. They have a ton of stuff. So Final Cut Pro works with that, and it's pretty slick. It's pretty user-friendly. Downside, last I checked, it is a $300 upfront cost. You pay $300, you get it for life. Another downside, it only works on Mac. So if you learn how to use Final Cut Pro and then your Mac dies, or you decide to move over to PC, then you need to learn a new editing software. This is the exact thing that happened to me, because my MacBook that I still have, that still works, is almost a decade old, and it just couldn't keep up with the video editing. So that sucked. And I got a PC, because you can get so much more bang for your buck with a PC, and I can live stream from it, and it's got like the capabilities to do everything. So I had to learn new editing software. So those are the downsides of Final Cut Pro. High entry cost, $300, only works on Mac, which is why my number one editing software of choice that I always recommend is Adobe Premiere Pro. It is like the cream of the crop. It is the industry standard. Professional video editors use it. It has every single bell and whistle you could ever want, plus every plugin and add-on you could ever want if there's something that's missing. It works on PC and Mac, which is great. The cost to entry is actually lower because it's a monthly fee, which of course adds up to more money over time. Very sneaky of Adobe. It does add up over time. However, it's a lower entry cost. So you can try it out for a month without costing $300. So you can get it, you can give it a try and check it out. It's a little less user-friendly, I would say, than Final Cut Pro, but once you figure it out, like, you get it. And what's cool is that you can get the entire Adobe suite of products for like 40 or 50 bucks a month. And you get Adobe Premiere Pro, but then you also get like InDesign and Photoshop and Lightroom and all the other creative tools you could ever want. And if you're starting a YouTube channel, those might be helpful for you down the line. Like, don't try to learn it all at once. That's way too overwhelming, but that could be helpful down the line. And once you learn Adobe Premiere Pro, you'll be more familiar with Adobe products generally, because they all tend to look very similar. So I recommend Adobe Premiere Pro for that purpose. But if you are someone who is overwhelmed by technology, keep it simple. iMovie. Even if you have a Windows, there's even like a Windows Movie Maker. I don't have it on my list because it's so like has so few bells and whistles that like you can get so much more if you just download DaVinci Resolve for free. But if that's too overwhelming, start with Windows Movie Maker. And I think all you can do is like upload your footage, maybe add some music, maybe add like a transition or two, and that's about it. But like that's all you need. You could even use CapCut, which is like a app on your phone. Film it on your phone, edit it with your little finger, get it done. I will say editing with your little finger on your phone is very different from editing on a computer. So if you really want to gain the skills to be good at video editing, I would highly suggest downloading iMovie, DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, or Adobe Premiere Pro onto your computer so that you are learning how to do it that way. In my new course, I give a thorough walkthrough of the basics of each of those four, like a separate tutorial for each of those four editing softwares. So we go in depth into detail. Okay. So that's the editing portion. And then I also go in depth and into detail on camera gear, what camera you need, what settings you need to set, what things you need to know about cameras generally for filming. My recommended gear, we talk about lighting, a 1 light setup, a 2 light setup, no lighting. How do you do it? And we talk about sound, like what gear do you need to get great sound? And my goal is to keep it as simple as possible, but get you to the highest quality possible for the lowest amount of investment upfront. Because that's what we want, right? We don't want to invest hundreds of dollars into this new project before we're even like making any money or getting any views. But we want to make sure that it's as good as possible, the best that we can do. We're not being perfectionists about it. But my goal with the course is to get your 70% way higher out the gate than it would ever be without the course. So I'm going to give you all those tools, not only to edit great video, film great video, but then make great videos. Like what makes a great video, what topics, what structure, like how do you make a good video that people are actually going to want to watch? I teach you all of that in my new course, Catalyst Academy, to get your 70% way, way higher. And again, you can win access to the course for free at the link in the description. You get my free Get Started checklist right away. And entry ends tomorrow night at midnight, and I will announce the winners on Friday. There will be 2 winners. I announced it on Friday. The pre-launch sale ends Friday night. Okay? This is the cheapest the course will ever be. So you want to take advantage of these prices if it's something that you're even just thinking about. Okay? 𝙂𝙀𝘼𝙍. Let me look at some of your comments, some of your questions. Throw some more questions in the chat. Let's see. First grade computer class, Oregon Trail, 1989. Very specific, tangible memory. I feel like I can smell the room. That's when you decided you're bad at tech. All right. Tech isn't easy, but it's getting easier every day. Good. I don't see it as the hardest component. What's the hardest component then? What do you think? Let's see. My brain nopes the F out when tech is involved. That's fair. And then you got to reel it in and bring it back. And you say, yep, this is my decade of therapy coming in handy. You say, yes, and yes, I feel this way. Yes, I feel nervous about this, and I'm going to do it anyway. Let's see. Yeah, I think people have answered this as well, but Wheelie saying, big fear is why I'm being misunderstood. Why am I going to do all this work so people can deliberately misinterpret what I say? I do at least 4 hours of research for every single video that I put out. And there are always comments from people who are hearing what they want to hear. not watching the whole video, misinterpreting what I'm saying, or just being deliberately stupid. That's the nature of the internet. Totally correct. Those aren't your people. Okay? And your people will find you. Yes, you do have people. I guarantee you have people. You have people. This is the joy of putting yourself out there on YouTube, because your people will find you. As long as you lean into who you are authentically and continue to hone your craft and making good videos, which I'll help you with in the course, and I'll teach you how to lean into yourself more authentically. But as long as you're showing up authentically, your people will find you. And the more authentic you can be to yourself, the stronger you'll be. It's similar with marketing. I'm learning a lot about marketing because of this new business that I've launched. And one of the things that a lot of people talk about is you don't want to try in your marketing to appeal to everyone, to appeal to a broad audience. The narrower and more specific you get with who you market to, the more success you actually have, because you're actually speaking to a group of people instead of to everyone. And then those people feel really special. And so just leaning into who you are, even if you're a big fucking weirdo, you're going to find other weird. There's so many weirdos out there. You're going to find them, and they're going to be your people. Yeah. Trolls will be trolling. I'm okay with sucking. It's the first dang step that seems so big. Yes. One thing to help get over that is just like start recording yourself doing shit without any intention of like using it. If you're using just your camera phone, totally fine. High quality video can be had from camera phones. Just set it up and just start filming yourself, just existing, because that will at least remove the pressure of hitting record. Like literally the act of hitting record becomes this big, like scary, like thing. If you just start recording yourself, not only will it take that pressure off the act of just hitting record, but it also will get you a little bit more comfortable in front of a camera. Okay. Talking logistics, how long should a video be? That you need to find out by doing research into your niche. Because, for example, the true crime niche, those videos are 45 minutes, an hour. I'm friends with someone who does 2-hour-long true crime videos because that's what people want. They want to be able to put it on and be told a story in the background while they're hanging out. They're expecting that. Mr. Beast, his videos are 8 minutes, almost universally 8 minutes, because they're extremely bingeable. So you really want to look at your niche and what people are doing and what people are expecting from you, like from your niche. Let's see. Yes, the 70% rule also leaves you 30% for yourself. Absolutely. Because this is supposed to be fun. Making YouTube videos is supposed to be fun. The last thing you want to do is burn out on it, you know? Let's see. Yes, I'm here to read you for filth. It's hard truths must be had, okay? Let's see. Just reading these comments. Wheelie, regarding criminal defense, believe me, I've looked through the model rules of professional conduct or whatever for lawyers. There's nothing about social media because those rules were written by 90-year-olds and they don't even know that social media exists. I can't give you guidance that you should rely on because that would put me in an awkward position. What I did when I was still practicing is I didn't discuss. I would discuss in broad terms what my day-to-day looks like. And I would never even hint at even the timing or place of any hearings that I had, because that could give away people's identity, the circumstances of certain cases. I just didn't touch it. Let's see. Okay. Shandon loves DaVinci Resolve. Great. Yes. If you keep it simple, you only own a phone, you can still do it. You can still film. You can still edit. You can even get the iMovie app on your phone. Let's see. Yay, Red Claw Art. You used my ChatGPT prompt from yesterday, and it had some awesome ideas. That's great. If you didn't catch my live yesterday, it's still up on this channel. We talk all about making videos faster, especially with ChatGPT. I'm glad that it was helpful. Yes, to write a business plan is really, it's pretty remarkable. Let's see. Do I recommend any other editing programs? So I recommend iMovie, DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro, like I just went over. Those are the 4 that I recommend. And I would start with iMovie or DaVinci Resolve if you're just getting started out, for sure. So I hope that I have given you enough of a pep talk that maybe you will feel a little bit emboldened to get started, because the best time to start a YouTube channel was 5 years ago. The second best time to start one is right now. And the sooner you get started, the faster you'll learn, the more you'll grow. Like, where are you going to be a year from now? You never know. Within 1 year of starting my YouTube channel, I had already been invited to be on panels. I was already making money on my channel. You never know. And how shitty would it be to like get to a year from now and think back and be like, wow, what if I had just started the channel then? Don't want to be there. Am I right? So have some courage. And don't forget to enter the giveaway at the link in the description below. Giveaway period, entry period ends tomorrow at midnight. Winners will be announced Friday. Pre-launch sale ends Friday at midnight. So you want to get your hands, you grimy little grubby paws, on these prices now, because they will be going up, and this is the lowest they're ever going to be. Great. Okay. I hope you guys have a lovely day. I will be back tomorrow again at noon here, and we're going to talk about something else that's going to help you with your YouTube journey. Okay. So I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here. And I hope you go after your YouTube dreams despite the fear. Okay, bye.